Hey, what's going on? Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, live in your basement, live in your bedroom, live all over the place. I'm Farid Yazdani. This is Entertainment 4111111. I provide my own echoes out here. Guys, I just want to thank you guys for adjusting. I know we had to reschedule, so for those of you who tuned in and changed the schedule around for us, thank you very much. Guys, I have a very special guest today. We are joined by none other than Warren Bey. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because there's also a celebrity named Warren Bey, a celebrity who is an agent at AAB Talent. So let's not confuse him with the lesser known Warren Bey, who's some Hollywood guy that we don't care too much about. I'm just kidding. Guys, Warren Bey shares the name with, of course, Warren Bey, the Hollywood star. So when I was told I was interviewing Warren Bey, I know the actual Warren Bey, the agent, but I was confused. I'm like, that name sounds familiar. And yes, they share the same name. It's quite funny. So without further ado, why don't we bring in Mr. Warren Bey in about 5 minutes, because I want to keep talking to y'all. I love to delay a little bit. Yes. So Warren Bey, of course, is an agent all the way out in Calgary. He's been doing this for many, many years. We have some wicked questions to ask him today. So if you're standing by and you are watching us live, feel free to pop in and leave some comments, leave some questions, and ask Warren Bey, and we will be able to answer those questions for you live. We'll be able to answer those questions as we're doing the questions here. So feel free to pop in, drop a question, and we'll be sure to tag them and get to them. So without further ado, we are shortly going to bring in casting director Warren Bey, agent and producer Warren Bey. And if you have questions, if you're looking for representation, if you want to know what to do while looking for representation, feel free to pop in. Ask those questions in the live chat, and then we'll be happy to answer them for you. So with my magical wand that I don't have, it's going to be my hand, I'm going to welcome to the screen Mr. Warren Bey, please.
Are they seeing me? There we go. Okay, there we are. Hello.
Hey, Warren, how are you?
Oh, well, I'm doing the best I can in this wonderful world of being an agent.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, in this industry in general right now, it's been so dry. The economy is not great for anything. Housing, cars, banks, let alone the acting world. It's been a little dry out there, that's for sure. But thank you for joining us. So, folks, why don't we pull up that picture of Warren Bey and Warren Bey? There's two Warren Beys. This is the lesser-known Warren Bey to the right. The more known Warren Bey in the purple tie is to the left. So you got to meet Warren, the other Warren Bey. How was that?
Well, I was at a Directors Guild luncheon, and they found out my name was Warren Bey, and it was a Friday night, and they said, "Oh my God, Warren Bey's showing his film at TIFF,
Nice,
about Howard Hughes, where he's playing it." And he said, "We'd like you to go." So I said,
Sweet.
"Okay, sure." I've been trying to track this guy down for most of my life. Now, he was born in 1937. I'm born in 1952. So there's really only about 15 years separation. So Mrs. Bey didn't name me after him because he wasn't acting at the time.
Okay.
So we went to the showing, and after the moderator finished talking to him about his film, he stood up and he said, "We have a surprise for you, Warren, and you're not the only Warren Bey in the room." And he said, "Stand up." So I said to him, "Thanks for the upgrades in hotels over the years. and my mom never named me after you because there's only whatever number of years separation at the time." And he stood up and said, "You and I got to talk." So we spent about 15 minutes after he finished with the press, and we got the pictures, and that was it.
Cool. That's a great experience. Why not? There's a wrestler out there named Farid Yazdani. So Farid Yazdani, the wrestler, if you're listening, we should meet up and wrestle, because that'll be hilarious. Let's start it off real strong with the first question, Warren. Why don't you give us the quick little rundown of how you got started in the industry? So question first.
I was sitting at home In 1987, my best friend, Eward Williams, who was on the set of Adventures in Babysitting, which was a film that was being directed by Chris Columbus at the time for Disney, called me up. And we've always talked about street casting. Everybody knows about that. I call it tuxedo casting. And he called me up and he said, I was an officer in the military, so he knew I had evening wear. And he said, we had a black guy no-show without his tux, and we need you on set. Now it's background. And I said, I'm really not interested, but I'll send you the tux, get somebody else to wear it. And he goes, no, we want you. I said, well, how much? He said, it's $5 an hour. I said, not interested. He said, okay, let me call you. That was $5 an hour.
That's crazy.
So he said, let me call you back. And he said, okay, we're going to vouch you. You're going to come. So I brought the tux, spent 3 boring days. Now you've got to remember that's before cell phones.
Right.
So all we did was play backgammon and euchre and sat around in background holding. And then that was it. And the casting director was Peter Lavender. And he said, oh, you should do this business. I said, I'm really not interested. So he called me up about 2 weeks later and he said, oh, I've got a tuxedo scene. I said, oh, with the tuxedos again? He said, I got a tuxedo scene, a Monte Carlo blackjack table, and I'd like you to do it. And I said, okay, whatever. I did it. Cool. Then after that, he said, you should get into business. I said, I'm not interested. He said, well, here's an agent's name. So I put it in my tux. About 6 months later, put the same tux on, saw the name. I got bored. I called the agent. He said, where have you been? We've been waiting to hear from you. Peter told us about you. Went and met them, sent me to a photographer, got me into the business, and the rest was history. So I started auditioning and getting roles. And back in the day, you needed 6 credits to get into the union. But the hook was that if you didn't get your 6 credits in 2 years, you lost them. I had a friend that had 4 credits off of 1 commercial, and he didn't meet the 2-year anniversary, and he lost all 4 of those credits and had to start all over again. That was the old system. Now it's a 3-credit system, and the rest is history.
Well, that's a good transition. I'm going to skip to the third question and come back to the second, because you mentioned your acting and your acting experience. So the third question was actually, how and why did you transition from actor to agent?
I was a friend of mine had an agency, and she asked me to help her out with the administration, and that was called Brooke Talent at the time. So I went in and I was helping her. I was interviewing clients for her, and then she decided to close the business down. And I said, well, what are you going to do? And she said, well, I'm just going to Vancouver and get married.
Wow.
So she said, well, why don't you take it over? And I said, really, I'm not interested. But one of our top actors at the time was Robert Ito, who was, oh God, there's my old headshot.
Yeah.
So Robert,
back up. Let's take a look. That's Warren Beatty, the young Warren Beatty. Look at that. You don't even change the goddamn bit, man. A little salt and pepper, and that's it.
Right. So Robert Ito was living in LA, but he was one of the top Canadian Asian stars. And so he did a lot of work here in Canada. And I had met him previously. I mean, most of the viewers wouldn't know him, but he was Sam on Quincy series, which was the first medical examiner show a long time ago with Jack Klugman. So he said, well, why don't you do the agency and represent me? And I said, I've got no experience. And he said, I trust you. And I said, I got no money. Shirley took all the money. And he said, I'll send you money and try it out for 90 days.
Wow.
And within a couple of weeks, he got a double episode of The X-Files, which was $25 US per episode. And I paid him back his money, and the rest was history. We just continued doing the business. The people that wanted to stay stayed with me, and the other people got other representation, and it just moved on. I had just interviewed a young lad that was from Murray State on a tennis scholarship. His name was Michael Hall, and he had worked doing stand-up comedy, and they were looking for a voice for Jim Carrey for Ace Ventura cartoons. And I asked him if he knew anything, if he'd ever done that voice. He said no, but he said he'd try it out. It turned out after much auditioning, and this was his first job, he became the voice of Ace Ventura cartoons. He did ADR work, for those who don't understand, additional dialogue replacement. He did Jim Carrey ADR work, and they flew him down to LA. He got his green card, ended up moving to LA, working in the voice business, and then settled back into Vancouver. And now he is the proud owner of the largest voice school in North America called On the Mic, based out of Vancouver and Toronto. And his name is Michael Hall, but he had to change his name to Michael Dangerfield because there's another Michael Hall in 6 Feet Under. So
your world is just everyone with the same name. That's what your world is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of, let's go to that next question, number 2. It actually is a great transition again. You're really doing well on this, Warren. You're stringing all the questions together nicely. It's quite good. The 80s. You're mentioning the 80s. Things are different for actors of color. I mean, I'm going to say it still is different for actors of color. It has gotten a lot better. I have to say, you guys are pilgrims of paving the way for us because it's been a little bit easier. What was your experience? Give us the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well, let's go back to Adventures in Babysitting. The reason they wanted me was there was a black female that was supposed to be in the dinner scene, and they didn't want an interracial couple. So as much as they wanted the tuxedo, they wanted a black male. So we were the only black couple in the dinner scene on the show. Over the years, I ended up doing lots of commercials. My most successful commercial was McDonald's went into the pizza business in 1991, and I was a spokesperson for it. They kept me on hold for 6 weeks. I eventually found out that the reasoning was they weren't sure that they could have a black person discussing McDonald's. So that was a reality check. I mean, if you were to check the commercial, it's still on YouTube. I'm the only person of color in a commercial, and there's probably 10 to 12 people in the spot.
Bless up. If it was a Popeyes commercial, they'd have no problem, wouldn't they? Ridiculous.
Well, actually, strangely enough, in Canada, it's different because they weren't using blacks for chicken and ribs. They just, where the Americans embraced fried chicken, and you would see black people eating fried chicken. In Canada, they were frightened. I mean, I remember there was a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial. It was about Caribbean chicken back in the 80s, and they did a Congo line, and everybody in it was white.
I'm not going to lie. I do a lot of commercial work as well. I'm sure those watching are familiar. It still is a tricky situation. I'm in a score bet commercial right now, and I got to give these guys props. They're doing an amazing job. I don't even question that. It's just blended, and that's all it is. But I remember back in the day, even as far as like 5 years ago, the joke was I'd be auditioning. It's actually the opposite now. They're working super hard to do the interracial thing. And I'd be auditioning, and it's me and this other brown girl. And I looked at her. I'm like, one of us is not getting this. They're going to either put you with a white guy or me with a white girl. And that's how they're now trying to make it. It's kind of gone the opposite way, where it's like you can't have two people of color in one commercial. Now it's got to be one and the other to hit all quotas. You know what I mean? To hit the quotas. And I don't know. I feel some type of way about it. I just think at the end of the day, the right person for the role should get it, whether you're Chinese, black, brown, white, whatever it is, you know?
But unfortunately, the majority of the interracial commercials tend to be the woman is white and then the male is black or whatever, Asian or whatever.
Agreed.
So it's I don't know. I have a problem with that. I mean, I've seen some odd commercials where it has been a black female, and that's really surprised me.
Well, it's great. It's welcoming, is what it is. That's what the hell it is. Guys, we're joined by Warren Bey, not Dick Tracy Warren Bey. Warren Bey, talent agent extraordinaire from AAB Talent. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. We're gonna get back with a few more questions. Stay tuned, and here we go.
Director who gives you good notes. I'm going to be a bad director who gives you lousy notes.
My Tribe Studio, a versatile space for your projects, a space to find your tribe.
Actors, do these audition struggles sound familiar? You waste time shooting with amateur family and friends and often think, I wish I could just work with professionals. You've declined an audition or missed a casting deadline and think, I wish they would just give us more time. You waffle on how to play a scene, you deliberate over which take to submit, and you think, I wish I just knew what they want. Your reader bailed on you last minute and you think, oh no, not again. Don't they know this is a huge opportunity for me? You wasted hours on the tech trouble of editing and uploading files and you think, I just want to act and let them handle all the tech stuff. You've reshot an audition due to bad sound, bad lighting, or an amateur reader. You've missed big auditions while on vacation or on set, and you think, oh, this always happens to me. You aren't working as much as you want, you aren't submitting your best auditions, and you wonder, will this acting thing ever work out? Introducing Actors Audition Club. We help professional film and theater actors shoot standout auditions in less time, so you can hit tight deadlines, nail the callback, and book the role. Get access to free training, monthly workshops, weekly classes, book private self-tape audition coaching sessions 7 days a week from anywhere in the world. Visit actorsauditionclub.com to get started today. And action.
Welcome back, guys. We're with Warren Bey at AAB Talent. Big shout out to our sponsors, My Tribe and, of course, Actors Audition Club. Guys, My Tribe is a Vancouver-based recording studio and classroom space offering some of the most affordable acting classes in the city. They have scene study and improv classes coming up this month, so if you register through eBoss, you could actually get 10% off. Look at that on all of the My Tribe courses. So please check them out if you're in the Vancouver area or if you're planning on visiting, or if you're in Toronto, see if they'll do a Zoom session with you guys. Hey, I don't see why not. I know the guys personally. They'll throw a favor in for you. Welcome back, guys. We're here with Warren Bey, talent agent of many years of experience. Got some great stuff to tell us about. If you have questions for Warren, guys, please feel free to drop them in the comments section on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We see them all, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. We'll also be able having this. We'll also be able to have this. What the heck? We will also be having the stream replay later on Facebook. So if you miss it and you have some friends who want to check it out, follow eBoss Canada. We're going to repost it. You guys will watch it again. Warren, welcome back. Thank you so far for so much of this. These insights has been great. Number 4, I'm hitting you with the hard questions now. A few agents have stated that they're not currently taking on newcomers who are ACTRA or apprentice. Interesting. What are your views on that?
What's happening out there is there's a lot of people being dropped by their agents. Mm-hmm. So I get a lot of calls from ACTRA members and apprentices, and I guess the issue is this is a business, and for some agents, if you're not bringing in the dollars, then they tend to want to move on to, try somebody else. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm generally a non-union agent, meaning that my percentages of actors are non-union versus union. Mm-hmm. The non-union world has become very lucrative, and so why not be where the money is being made? This funny thing is, today one of my actors is pretty high profile, and he probably does 5 to 10 commercials a year, both union and non-union. So I decided to add up his earnings for last year, and he made $91,656 as a non-union member.
No biggie.
Because of the new rules that Active brought in, he's bought a number of permits. He's exceeded 3 permits. The old system was after your 3 permits, you would be charged a surcharge of 100% to do a commercial. Okay, so he's bought probably close to 12 permits. But under the new rules as of last year, if you've already exceeded your 3, then you have to buy in. They won't issue another permit, and you have to pay the $1,600 initiation fee, which is standard. I don't know how much you paid when you joined, but
I think it was about that.
As of 2 weeks ago, ACTRA has extended an option to equity members to join ACTRA for free and not pay the initiation fee. So how do you people that have spent money paying your initiation fee feel about that, I wonder?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I bought mine a while ago, so I kind of forgot about it personally. But I'm sure some others who bought it recently are not too thrilled. That segues to another question. Do you feel, and I mean, you kind of answered it, but number 5, do you feel non-union talent are busier than union talent? I mean, you could vouch that for yourself.
Definitely. I get, through all the breakdown services, the majority of the work is non-union. The buyouts are bigger than they used to be, and they're also paying the agency fee. So they're paying our commissions so that the actor gets the full nut. So if you had a buyout of $3,000 and $450 would come to me normally, it's paid by the agent, the production company.
Is this on commercial work, or are you saying on TV as well?
No, TV, non-union work in TV is limited to docudramas.
Yeah.
Generally $300 to $400.
Yeah.
No buyouts. You're going to Hamilton, working, 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But, it's a professional set, smaller. But, you get to learn the ins and outs of the business.
Yeah, no, we all started at non-union. So this, just to be frank, like every actor was non-union at one point, and we had to pay our dues and we had to do some experience. And you definitely learn stuff when you work on some non-union sets. There's some non-union sets that actually, I know Mayday was a non-union set, still is technically a non-union set, but because they've been around for so long, ACTRA has issued them like it's like a permit or something to, like, they're allowed to cast ACTRA members in their project, but a lot of the directors and the crew are actually non-union, believe it or not.
Yeah. And they're more for all the major roles. It doesn't really matter whether you're an actor member or not. They're looking for a lookalike. So now we get a picture. So if you look anything like the character, they're bringing you on board, because generally most of that Mayday stuff is other than the captains and the first officers and the investigators, they're people sitting on planes.
Yeah, exactly. Number 6, here's a good question. For people who are looking for agents, someone who's looking to sign with you or looking to submit to you, what are the biggest misconceptions that talent in general have when looking for an agent? So what's some misconceptions that they have in their head when they're coming out looking for an agent?
I think they feel that we're the gatekeepers, and we're not the gatekeepers. The casting directors are the gatekeepers. Okay, so when I bring on talent, I always explain to them that it's going to be a tough road till you get the experience, and so that always becomes a problem sometimes, because a lot of them take it negatively, and they're looking for that agent that the Ari Gold from the Ari Gold agent that's
Yeah.
going to open up doors and do all of that. Well, you know what? All agents have some kind of contacts, but you're limited to what we call in the business a push. You're limited on who you can push to whom.
Correct.
I mean, I've had situations where I've tried and called a casting director back in the day when you were going into the room to get some feedback. And it's like, like we saw 30 people. Like, they don't have the time to critique all your people.
Yeah.
So that's the downside of it.
For sure. Well, that's another segue. You're just riding a segue through these questions. What's some of the biggest mistakes that talent make out there, even when it comes to auditioning, submitting, working, and just generally just being talent? What are some of the biggest mistakes you find?
Well, the plus now that we get to see their auditions, because before I would call somebody up and say, Farid, you got an audition on Monday. It's at 7:00 p.m. at Powerhouse. My day's over.
Right.
Now, I'm saying the same thing to you, but I'm saying get your self-tape to me before such and such a time, so I'm getting a chance to see it. And the biggest problem with some of the actors is they don't follow instructions.
Yeah, I know.
Like I have a casting director who specifically wants tail slates. Generally in a business, the slate is in the front, but she puts out all her breakdowns, information, tail slate.
Right.
Then the tape comes in and it's in the front. And I go, like, did you not read it? Oh, well, I forgot and all that. Well,
you forgetting is going to do the job.
We don't have time to redo it. And now a tape goes, and the first thing that casting director says, I told him to do a tail slate.
Yeah.
So obviously he can't take direction. He can't read. So these are things that, would come out to casting. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you go to a job interview and they tell you to make sure you wear a tie, a blue tie, and you show up in a black tie. Like why are you're already not getting the job? You know what I mean? It's like actors have a duty as well, and I'm going to shout out all the actors and call you guys out. Agents get 15% of your commission, again, because they have to do 15%, maybe 20% of your work. You're responsible for the other. In fact, there should be 120% of effort put in. So make sure you guys do your due diligence.
The agent is the employee of the actor.
Exactly.
We're working for 15%.
Exactly.
You're getting the 85. So
exactly. So do your job. Like actors, do your job.
The problem is with some actors, like besides not reading, they don't talk to their agents about where they're studying. Like I've found out after that they've been studying at, and I go, who? And they go, oh, well, a friend of mine told me about this person, right? And I'm going, I don't know. And I've been in this business for almost 40 years.
Yeesh.
Like, talk to me before you start spending your money.
Right.
And, and I think the biggest problem is that, unfortunately, a lot of actors are always looking for the quick fix, and they think that, agent number 2 is going to do better than me. And I say, okay, fine, go for it. But respect the work that I've done for you. But a lot of times, some of these actors go behind your back and they forget how small the industry is. And the agent that they're talking to calls me up and says, Warren, what's the word on this person? And I go, why are you meeting with this person? Oh, well, they're looking for another agent. And I go, well, isn't that funny? I wasn't aware of that. And then when I confront the person, they go, oh, well, I just thought I'd try it out. But my attitude is I do not meet with anybody that's represented. So when somebody calls me and sends an email or whatever, the first thing I say to them is, are you represented? And if they say yes, I say, okay, I can't talk to you till you have a letter of resignation. So I'm not going to poach. I've been poached a number of times, and I refuse to poach from other agents. It's just my ethics.
Wow, good on you. I respect that. Warren, there are a lot of us in the industry that wear many hats. For example, me hosting this show. You dabble in producing. So please tell us about that.
Well, I didn't have any kids, but I have 3 kids. Okay. And my kids are my films. So in 2008, I produced a documentary called Black Ice. And we took it to the Roxbury Film Festival, and we won Best Documentary. And it's about the Colored Hockey League of the Maritimes.
Oh, yes,
CHL, and it existed from 1895 to 1925. So for 30 years.
Wow.
And been working on trying to get a featured film done, but the biggest problem is getting money. It's all about the money and the backing. So that's been that was my first child that was born in 2008. And then my next child was in 2019, and that was a film called Sweet Revenge for the Just for Laughs Film Festival.
Oh, yes.
We found out about it. We found out about it about.
Wait a minute. Is this the one about the food?
Yes.
So we were in the same. We came in second to you guys. I was in the same
Oh
JFL.
my God!
Festival.
So you were in Montreal. You were in Montreal.
Yeah, our film was the one with me, Simu, and Brendan. We were a boy band. It was a boy band.
Yes.
We did a music video. Yeah, so I saw this. This is hilarious. This was actually very funny.
So they brought this. There was like 300 entries, and they brought the 6 finalists down, and they showed it. It was the same weekend that Kevin Hart was playing the Bell Center.
Yeah,
and it was Thursday night, and we ended up winning, and we were to see Kevin Hart Friday night. Actually, he was supposed to be there to award the winners, but it never happened. Then we were supposed to meet him at the show. They did give us VIP at the show, the 3 of us that you see on the stage there, which were my director, Pascal, and the other executive producer, Ola. And so it never happened, and we won the money, the 10,000 US.
So you never met him?
What's that?
You never actually met him?
Nope, we never met him. We never got.
Feel as bad coming in second place now.
Yeah, we never got the Lionsgate.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Kevin
Hart, boo on you, bro.
We never got the Lionsgate meet either. Everything fell apart. And
oh my God,
after that year, Kevin would always go back, and he never went back again after that.
Wow.
Look at that. The same backdrop. Wow.
Yep. Small world.
I think that's so cool, man.
Yeah. That was a good festival. I mean, it's unfortunate that you guys. I'm hearing that it's very unfortunate because this whole festival too is like they're bankrupt. What I'm hearing.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, there you go, right there. Jeez.
They made a promise to one of the directors, and they fired him, and he took them to court and won a settlement. So that's what happened. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to segue.
Oh, I forgot. My third film was Clash, and it was with the same group. And Clash we did in 2022. Ended up it's a Nigerian-based storyline. Ended up being number 1 on Netflix in Africa. Then they came back to us and bought the rights to do worldwide in Netflix, and that ran for a year worldwide. It's not up anymore, but so those are my 3 children.
I was also at that festival in Nigeria. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't there. Well, I'm going to segue right quick with my project as one of our advertisements. As you can see behind me, real quick, we're going to play the clip in 2 seconds. It's called Day Players. It's a film about actors in Toronto taking the world's worst acting class. So just like you, Warren, I dabble in the producing, and just like you, money is always the struggle to get these things put up. A lot of times I put my own funds in it. I mean, still doing that. I think it's going to segue to our next question, I think number 9, once we get there. But Evan, if you want to roll this teaser real quick, folks, if you are watching at home, just FYI, this will be coming out shortly in the fall of this year, so stay tuned. And without further ado, here's Date Players.
You are a born protagonist. Look at you! You're a failed professional.
Okay, I wouldn't say failed.
You're a finding bastion of hope in a rundown old school.
I mean, it's not that
It
bad.
just happens to be shared by the only woman who ever broke your heart.
What did you do?
Shh. Just watch.
I've got a lot of auditions lined up. Like, so many auditions.
I can imagine. I can relate to having so many bookings. Like, it's like a library, just books everywhere.
That's right. You're looking at the host of Canada's Next Great Handyman.
I nailed my audition, bro. They said they'd call me.
Guys, I'm going to be the host of Canada's Next Great Handyman. You are looking at the host of
Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of hostility from you right now.
Oh, please mansplain it to me so I can understand it better.
Clearly you don't know what mansplaining is. Let me break it down for you.
He's dead.
Which is the purest and greatest form of theater? Improvisation.
Told you I would eat you. I told you I would. Woo! Let's go!
I cannot watch this anymore. This is agony.
Coming 2024, ladies and gentlemen. So this was at Series Fest in Denver, Colorado. We were also at the TO Web Fest this year, and we're hoping to release this later on this fall. So stay tuned for more. But we are back here with Mr. Warren Bey. Warren, thanks again for joining us. We have our last 2 questions. This has been fantastic. Small world. We're at the same festival. That's so funny.
I think that's wild. 6 degrees of separation, man.
Not even, more like 4 millimeters of separation there. That's crazy. I was literally watching you guys from the stage below. So there you go. No, that was a great short. It was really funny. You guys deserve to win by no question.
It's on YouTube. Just put in Just for Laughs, JFL Sweet Revenge, and it's still up on YouTube, so you can view it. It's about 14 minutes.
Sweet. There you go. So, Warren, we have 2 more questions for you, and I think number 9 is kind of a good segue to what we were talking about in our industry, but here it is. Number 9, what would you like to see different in our Canadian industry? Loaded question.
Well, loaded question. I mean, the industry is all about money, so it's investment of money. Like, unfortunately, we don't have a Tyler Perry here in Canada. He has his own studio. He makes his own films.
Yeah,
he's a BIPOC director, producer, and again, if you ask who are the BIPOC money people in Canada, very few people know. And it's hard to ask. It's hard to ask somebody to invest in a film when the storyline is, about Blacks or South Asians or Chinese, right? So it's our own people. We have to, put the money forward.
Slowly it's changing. We're seeing more and more, slowly, but I agree with you. I think there could be way more. I mean, the closest thing to an investor of like, maybe it's an international, is Guillermo del Toro. And that's like the closest thing to someone who has money that comes here to film. But even then, it's not exactly what you're talking about, like the Tyler Perry type who makes,
Canadian that's got a production. I mean, we have a bunch of BIPOC production companies, and they're doing their best to get work out there. But if viewership on TV series is low, then that gives a perfect excuse for networks to drop them.
Right. Warren, we're going to wrap it up with number 10. This is a good loaded question. Not as loaded as the last one, but a nice one. We all have mentors. Who were your mentors / mentor, and why?
Okay, well, that's a tough one because that leads back to when I started the agency. The Shirley at the time was quitting, left it in my hands. So technically, I never had a mentor. When Michael was up, when Michael was up for Ace Ventura, I was in shock. because it was like a major contract. He was going to be paid the highest amount of money for a voice actor in Canada. So I said to him, I said, you know what, I'm going to hire a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer, and he's going to negotiate the deal and we'll split it down the middle. And he agreed. And the rest was history after that. We got this amazing contract. He made a lot of money. I made a lot of money. And the rest is history. And then I wanted to do a shout out to my partner, Thomas Yee, who is Asian Action. And in 2005, we joined and formed AAB. Now, nobody knows that AAB is actually Asian Action Brooke. That's where AAB comes from. So we've been together 19 years, and it's worked out well. Most of his agency were Asian, and predominantly I had visible minorities of various types. So we became the largest ethnic-owned agency in the country.
Dope.
So that's
dope. I love that. Wicked. Warren, that's phenomenal, dude. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot. I'm still reeling over the fact that we're the same festival. That's great. Small, great. I mean, it's such a good project. I saw it. It was awesome. I mean, it's good to see that you dabble in multiple things. Some great insights into the non-union world as well. So I thank you for that. That's great information for those who are just breaking out into the business and are still deciding on what to do. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been Entertainment 411. This has been Warren Beatty.
Last word to talent. Read your contracts. Understand what you're getting into. This is a business. So, when you're signing a contract, know what's in that contract and understand it, because it can come back and bite you in the bum later on.
I'll say it. It'll bite you in the ass. I'll say it. Okay. We're allowed to say it. Warren, I love you, buddy. Buddy, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for taking the time. Guys, if you have any other more questions for us, please feel free to drop a line. We will be happy to answer them even after the stream. If you have any questions for Warren, please reach out to us, and I'm sure we could ask him, and maybe he'll make some time for you. He might be able to send you a message online. Warren, thank you so much for joining us. This is great. We'll have to have you back sometime. We'll have to have you back sometime.
Well, like I say, I think we've discussed mostly everything we can discuss. So there's not much left to talk about.
If I have a debate panel, I'll call you up or something. All right?
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Entertainment 411. This has been Warren Beatty. AAB Talent casting directors will be up next week, as well as some producers. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but they're coming. We have them from Montreal, Vancouver. We have some producers from here in Toronto, some BIPOC producers. You might want to join in for that one. Some big names on July 2nd. Should I tell them? No, I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's for
tell your friends about Entertainment 411, okay? Because it's
this guy.
It's a happening. Okay.
I love it. Appreciate that, man. We're gonna soundbite that and play it over and over again. Evan, you got that clip? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. Thanks for joining us. Go enjoy your dinners. Enjoy your last days of the hours. It's getting dark. Enjoy your Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.